23rd, 2021, Recreating Community Enhancement Committee meeting. Is there any public comments?
Don't see any public comment, Mr. Chairman.
I'd like to call for a motion to adopt the agenda.
So moved.
Give me a second, or Sister Donna.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I didn't think so. It was only two of you here. Okay. The update on the Brianna Connis part, again, and I don't want to sound like a broken record. Sister Donna, Cindy, David, I don't know if he's on board tonight or not, but you know, I've been on this committee a long time, and you think, you know, sometimes you just go over and over, but people's dreams have come. It's going to be coming together, Lord willing, and it's taken a lot of work. And this is a high dollar. This ain't no penny ante project, but y'all have worked crazily hard, and it's going to be worth the effort. I think Mike was saying that you and David got together and got kind of the stuff worked out so we can actually go ahead and order some things. Is that?
Well, are you two familiar with the changes that have been made?
Yeah, it's sort of like a flip flop of the rotation.
Chris?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm familiar.
And I get it. Yeah.
So, we have an estimate, we have a new layout.
I got it on the screen now. I'll put it right up there. You want the park layout or the playground?
The playground.
Okay, this one.
Yeah. So, a lot of this equipment that we picked out was considered to be sensory friendly because you could transfer a wheelchair person into this and this and this and this. So this that you see is the pour in place quite expensive pathway so that they can get in and have access to these different pieces of equipment. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to get back to the specialty swing going across the wood chips. We changed this from the picture you saw last time. This piece is completely different. A few more $1,000, but more play for your buck. This area in here appears that we're going to have some space that we can play with later down the road if we wanted to customize this area with something. Part of the estimate that we won't talk about tonight called for turf in this area instead of the wood chips. Any questions?
So that's the entire playground right there, what we're looking at. We're not divided into sections.
That's correct.
No, everything's changed since the last.
Okay, so
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm glad y'all got together.
Three pictures.
Yeah, no.
It's the same equipment, well, almost. We eliminated a couple things and added a couple things.
Yeah, I like
It
that.
doesn't look as nice without the pretty picture that we saw had last.
No, I like it. I like that open space right in the front part there. That might be nice going down the road, yeah.
So this will be the entrances.
Oh, yeah, that's
And
neat.
we're gonna have two or one.
That entrance is off the parking lot, I might add.
Parking lot.
That U faces the parking lot.
Is here.
And we have a schematic that we'll show you in just a second.
Had to
This
do a
is-
fence around this whole
Smith
thing?
Street, right
Yes.
here.
Mhm.
And only those two entrances in? Are you gonna have like a back door entrance anywhere, or just those two?
I feel strongly both ways.
The,
I mean, I don't see any reason to not put the, you know, if you're gonna put the arch path in there,
let-
it makes perfect sense to put it there.
Well, if this was wide enough that you could get a piece of equipment in there if you had to, I think this is 5 feet.
Okay.
Well, we're still gonna put a service feed in there, something like that over on School Street.
or Smith Street, either one.
Well, it could be here, Smith Street runs across the top of it there. The only question.
No, that would be School Street.
That's School Street. Yeah.
Yes, across the top. Smith Street would be on the left.
My only question with this is, before we had two different sets of swings, And so now, they've been combined into 5 here. And I don't necessarily think we need 5. This is a specialty swing, this is a specialty swing, and these 3 are the same, just the belt.
For teenagers or even adults, they're big enough for
I
adults.
mean, your regular swing that has the,
I don't have no problem with 5, to tell you the truth. I mean, if that's gonna be an issue, I don't have a problem with 5. You, I mean,
Yes, you'd have 6 swings total in addition
there's
to
6
the,
regular swings,
and then
and
the,
then 2 sections of specialties.
yeah, I don't think that hurts them, because you
Yeah.
see adults sit on swings.
uh-huh,
more
oh
than-
yeah, people they'll go swinging, I mean, that's.
Yeah, I like it, I think it looks nice.
Yeah, I know y'all done a lot of, thing, but it's great to see something come together for the good of the community, and like I say, even, I know probably the Akamai's probably not gonna give us $1, and even though we asked, but again, we're tickled to
They-
death to have our mainland, especially our friends from Horntown, because that's Shingatig, that's the part of Shingatig we haven't annexed yet.
And I have a layout, and I'll show you of, I can get this off.
And there'll be more reasons where Accomack can still help us,
Good, good.
because it's not a done deal. Once we get the equipment, there's.
Oh,
lots of
I'll take my
other
word for it.
components to it.
Even all that you all done,
Don't
all
rule
that
them out.
David has done, all that the council,
Yeah, don't
it's
rule-
not, it's,
Don't rule them out.
huh?
Don't rule them out.
Right, good. Really, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We need that and more. We're not like I said, because I mean, there's stuff that we've not addressed, and
If you look at the layout here, the area on the right is the parking area, which is already under construction. And the area on the left is the corner lot that Mr. Landsberger is negotiating with us for. School Street would be vertically on the left side. So School Street would be running right here. Smith Street would be across the bottom. So you see the 2 paths would open onto the parking lot. The fence here that surrounds the playground is just about on the right of way for School Street. So don't think we'll be putting any gates on that side. We could put a service gate on the Smith Street side, so we could get in and out with more mulch and equipment to service the equipment, our trucks to service the equipment. And 2 entrance gates I envision, as Harvey was saying, just off the path, if the path does come to fruition, to open onto the parking lot. The reason we made the switch is in order to get the fitness trail, which was envisioned, on the remainder of the property, and I believe I've got something for that too.
So you moved the playground to the corner lot?
Yes,
Oh, I'm catching up big here.
that's why I wanted to.
Okay, I see what you've done.
Okay,
Because
so-
I thought, man, you got your
I'm sure you're
orientation.
confusing.
You got your
For a
orient.
bit, I
I
was
kept saying, you
confused.
got your orientation all messed up, Mike. And I was like, no, you don't. I see what you've done.
Yeah, I had
So
to call
just
Harvey
a
and say,
quick and
I'm
dirty
confused.
sketch here. The playground would go on the corner lot that we talked about with Mr. Landsberger.
I got you.
Parking lot is where the parking is. It's under construction, and the athletic field, the restroom, the fitness area, and the pavilion would all be down here in this lower area. The reason we made the switch was so that we could fit the athletic field, the restroom, the fitness area, and the fitness trail, and the most important thing, some drainage for this whole site. Without that, we weren't sure we were going to be able to get any kind of drainage in this area, and as we've said many times, if we can't provide some drainage for the area, it's we're putting we're putting all this expensive equipment in a swimming pool.
Exactly. Yeah,
So-
it's always gonna.
That's the reason the switch was made, but as you can see, the fence will align with School Street here, right on the right of way, so we wouldn't put any access there. That would be problematic. Probably a service gate in this area on Smith Street, and the 2 entrances could easily go from the parking lot, which makes sense. We'll locate the restroom necessarily close to the parking lot for convenience. The fitness area will probably be down and around the bottom center, and the pavilion in this area. The athletic field would take the, in an east-west direction along the back property line. The fitness trail, we still haven't decided on an exact routing, but we feel there's room for it now. But of course, we're going to put some drainage around the perimeter here and try to get everything back to Smith Street.
How about sidewalks? Do you have sidewalks for that whole outline?
Not at this time, but I feel certain we could probably get some sidewalks, Harvey, correct me if I'm wrong, on the Smith Street side. We've talked about putting some sidewalks along Smith Street here.
Yeah, and there's a potential to put some parking on Smith Street.
And I think that would be a good idea for the athletic field to have a few parking spaces right there.
Well, and there's some question as to whether we can fit some in there at all, or if we can fit them parallel, or maybe even head in. Head in, of course, you would get a lot more spaces.
Yeah, I think you could, well.
It's gonna be
it all
parallel.
depends how big the pavilion would be.
Yeah, what we need to be sensitive to there is the size of the athletic field. Because we're dealing with some minimums there.
Yes. The good news, the playground equipment is final, correct? The fitness equipment the final selection has been made. If the committee approves it tonight, we intend to write a purchase order tomorrow.
Okay. Now, on that, because we need some money from David and the fundraising too. Do we need that money up?
We have to, I think that it was $12,000 was the deposit, so.
So that's all we got to do is so we can pay that. That's all I'm
Yes.
asking. I don't know if we have to pay for it all up front or not. So that's good. That's good.
And the lion's share of that going to the fitness equipment, actually, because they've never heard of the township.
Sure. But that's all we got to put down is the $12,000 for now. We can get with all that. Like, good. That's good. That's a good thing.
We've dealt with park and play structures before. We got
Good. Good. They trust us. I like that. And like I said, I understand y'all working with him. I mean, he comes in here. It's not like a job. I mean, he's in here telling you, he wants it. It's not just that he wants to sell something. He wants you to have your place looking nice. And
So I make a motion that we approve the purchase of the playground equipment as presented.
got a motion. Can I get a second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And if I could, the budget has not yet been affected. We've got some final prices from Third Little Pig. We did save a few dollars here and there, not enough that I'd want to feel
Right.
comfortable adjusting the budget yet.
No, there it is.
And the extra things that Donna has spoke about, the Porden Place loop there, and some turf that is envisioned around the musical instruments there, are extras that the funds would have to be raised for. So again, it does not affect the budget at this time.
So I would recommend that they just go back to committee, and we'll have time to plan for those extras, and also we may have time to.
Oh, you'll have some more money. I mean, seriously. I mean, it's
comparative pricing. I mean, we've got an idea of what they'll cost, but we haven't really looked around.
a lot of people on CTG. When you listen to CTG, their advertising is around kind of Brianna's Conda's part. You know what I mean? It's great. Y'all got the community involved, and thank y'all. Thank y'all so much.
I spoke to Cindy earlier, and we're committed to raising more money. We still got a lot of things going on.
I would not be shocked if that number, that one number. I would not be shocked. I would not be shocked.
If I could also add, Mr. Chairman, a pavilion is envisioned. We've looked at, Harvey and I have looked at several so far. The first one that was presented was sort of plain Jane, so we're looking to do a little better on that. The prices vary widely. We're not ready to come to you at this time and say we've finalized the decision on what we want. Okay, so we still
Right
want.
now, you're still leaning toward metal because we can put it up for sale, and is that what you're still leaning
Yes,
that way?
I think it's something, we have an amount in the budget for it, which I don't want to sit here and say what we have in the budget for it, because in my experience been, and having been a contractor, if you tell me how much money you got, I'm going to get it all. That's, or more.
But that's something. I know you kind of cut your teeth in that. this type of building, the structure, the metal structure.
Yeah,
buildings. I mean, you actually had, that was part of your,
There are a lot of options. I feel certain that the ones we looked at, the Tynes crews can put together.
that is your biggest bang for the buck, like I said, the money is in
Sure.
putting it up. I mean, these, like I say, I've done 2 of them.
That's,
Last one by myself, and, yeah.
That's certainly a place where we can save a few dollars, and depending on what we pick. But we'd like a little bit more time to look at that and vet some of these things and see what we really want. It won't take that much time, but we are not ready tonight to say this is what we want and this is how much it costs.
And with the change in locations, the type of pavilion you put over here by the athletic field might be different than the one that you were thinking.
On that corner.
Before.
Absolutely.
Exactly. That on the corner, you really had to be, that's the entrance to it. Now it's a place to hang out. Yeah, right. I agree with you. And we still want to do nice, and he's like I say, you don't want to go with the cheapest thing either. I mean, you can get nice.
Well, we want something that looks good, something that's attractive, something that's useful, something that people will enjoy using. And there are a bunch of these things out there, and the prices vary widely. So, would I be correct?
And having dealt with the pirate ship at Memorial Park for years, we also want to design it pretty open so we don't turn it into an attractive nuisance for a teenage hangout.
Yeah.
You know, 'cause
Yeah, we still need stuff for our teenagers too. With Jay and I talk about stuff too. I mean, so we need stuff for our teenagers. That's.
we just don't want to give them too much privacy in the pavilion.
Oh, not privacy. No, I'm sorry on that one.
He's talking about the below deck activities.
But
Yeah.
oh yeah, no. Well, it's going to be open anyway. It ain't going to be no hideaway. If I'm right, if I'm thinking right, it's going to be nice thing, nice corners, but open. So I'm with you there.
The ones we envision are all open, but again, the designs, we have about 4 right now, 2 square ones, a hexagonal and a octagonal one. The prices vary from in the 30s to in the 60s.
Right.
So we'd
So
like a little bit more time to come maybe with 1 or 2
So if we get
options.
something, just say something that's $40,000 cost of materials, that's really still an $80,000 if somebody else put it up. You understand what I'm saying? We're still getting $80,000 building, but we're paying for it.
You can look at the cost of that as being 30 to 40% of the total cost is going to be labor to erect it.
Yeah. So I'm saying that you spend 40.
And that's a
We
minimum.
still got a $75,000 building, pavilion.
I haven't had a whole lot of time to think about it yet, but even if you picture something like the pavilion at Memorial Park that has the back side of it that's the bathroom, so that you weren't actually making 2 different spaces, one for the bathroom and one for the pavilion. If we could reduce kind of the look, the size of that down there, how much did the pavilion cost 20, 25 years ago or so, and what the cost would be of that kind of thing, sharing that back side of the bathroom wall, might be good use of space for that corner there.
But we don't intend to drag it out. We still have a schedule. We intend to meet the schedule. The schedule right now, I think we're finishing in July.
Yeah, it's November.
November, is that, okay.
But we're ordering the playground equipment now.
Tomorrow morning. We're going to write a PO tomorrow morning.
And thank you, Dave, getting together and like I said, it was a hard deadline. That's hard when but y'all nailed it, and that's so good to say that stuff's been ordered. You know what I mean? That's exciting. That's exciting.
Last time I
Yes,
checked,
sir.
you're looking at a 12-week lead time on it.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I'm talking to Mr. Lansberg. Yes,
Yeah,
it's
cool.
all in the estimate. It was all in the equipment estimate, and it's the Norrell equipment, right, Donna?
The 4 pieces of fitness equipment are the Norwell.
Yeah, Norwell, and that was the upgraded ones.
And Don, I know a lot of people say, well, why do you
Fitness
need
trail
this
was in
transfer?
the
I've
original
got in my
estimate for
own
the equipment.
family
Yes, that's all
that
still
can
there.
definitely use. And I even son to it about it, but they can definitely use it. Jamie's, my brother-in-law Jamie's kids.
Yeah, we don't know. We already had that.
That playground would be
that'll probably
so
be
big.
I'll give you a call. We'll talk about it. Okay. Okay, Mr. Chairman, that's all I have for.
Okay, the next thing on the agenda is considered a request for use of Donald Amron Gymnasium. The pickleball committee has sent us a letter and they want to open it up with just for 10 people, and after the social distancing and the sanitizing and everything. What I had in my mind is, are our ventilators, or the fans, are they still working? I was thinking about, for the date, even give them a date, they say if it's March 15th or whatever, that the doors can be open and those fans can be on for ventilation. And that would be the, you know what I'm saying?
Might get a little chilly at night.
It's gonna get chilly, heat's gonna be off.
Yeah.
That's just a request, but my thing is ventilation on. If something happens, say, well, hey, look, we've done it to the best of our ability. We've done it to the best of our ability for y'all to have it. But I don't think they have a problem with it. They have both double doors open. If we can devise a way with a pole or something so they can do it easily, latching, you know what I'm saying? Put poles out and some latching so it wouldn't kill them to have to
Yeah.
put chocks in and everything, and show them how the fan switches for the two ventilators on the end. I said, yeah, y'all might get a little cold, it's still better than outside, And that when you put the two together, the pickleball association can run because they can do outside, and it's not just limited to 10 people because they can have another 10 outside. So then it's the 20 people that are there anyway. You know what I'm saying? And they could get their organization back together. I think they're missing it. And I haven't played pickleball since the pandemic. I can tell you that. But I think they want to get it back together. So, anybody's got any ideas about that, or a time frame, or how they could do it?
As the letter I put in here states, the only reservations we have right now, we're still cleaning all the public spaces, public bathrooms that we have every 2 hours, as per the executive order and CDC recommendations. The Pickleball Association has offered to clean the place, but when we let them when we opened the gym for their use, there were several other groups, is my understanding, that were using it at the same time. So does that leave it open so that we have to allow all these groups to use it? And that becomes an issue, because while we've had no problems at all with the Pickleball Association, or the rest of the groups for that matter, we're going to be relying on all these groups to clean up after themselves, to disinfect everything, and I'm not sure that is the best way to go right now. We do, and I spoke with Brian before I came over here. He looks forward, as I do, in the next 30 days for the governor to relax some of these restrictions if we keep heading in the same direction. And I'm hoping he does, so that we can dispense with the cleaning every 2 hours and everything, and go to once a day, something like that, because it's a drain on Public Works. Right now, we assign one man a day to do nothing but clean bathrooms, and it's all he does all day. Am I right, Harvey?
And including the weekend.
That's what I was saying. If we give maybe a tentative March 15th, and total ventilation, no heat, and
Well, if we're close to a governor decision, which to open this up anyhow, that may solve everybody's problem.
So I say you just table till next month's meeting.
okay, that's what. Okay, got a motion to put it on next month's meeting, and
Because we meet next month, right? on the
yeah,
3rd.
we
Yes.
are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we normally don't, but because of all the stuff that's going on, and like I said, anybody's got, so this is too much. We'll come back in
And hopefully if there's some relaxed restrictions there, this may solve itself, and we can
I
go
think
back.
he will. Ralph and I, like I said, a lot of stuff I'd like to get with him and do. But he has handled the pandemic good. For the state of Virginia, we've numbers are way lower than a whole lot of other states, and we've kept our economy going. So I'm gonna get.
Well, the last time I was in those restrooms, they needed a really good cleaning.
Well,
Now, I gotta say, the
I know-
ones
I know-
I've
I know
been
where
in
you're
this
at.
summer, one I've been in this summer have been spick and span clean, but speaking of the ones at the Amrine Center,
yeah.
they needed some attention. What they're
We
like
got
now,
a minor facelift in there, they're a lot better shape.
good.
When they were built, they weren't what you would call luxuriously appointed.
Yeah.
They had a top
No.
floor and a toilet, is basically what they had.
So the
Hey.
couple times I did the Thanksgiving show there, they were in need of a deep cleaning when we started, so.
Yeah.
If the pickleball people, even after the weather, I mean, if they're using it, I think it would be good if they did keep it clean.
They even have a ceiling now.
Do they?
They do.
That's exciting.
But like you say, I will tell, like you say, I'll tell them, and they'll probably get it tomorrow. Tell them that we tabled it, but we're still in a positive way, thinking that there's restrictions from the governor. And I expect it to. And if not, they're gonna say we're probably the way that we would have. If it's not by March 15th, we'll look at it, and if not by that, we'll have a plan at least by maybe April the 15th. And that's really, I'm thinking, we've got to get her, get off the pot. You know what I'm saying?
So maybe we could say April 1st, that we're tabling
Yeah,
the
yeah.
decision that.
Well, we'll talk about it next month, and I guess it's gonna be what the March,
The
20-something.
I mean, this committee is supposed to meet the same night, basically, as the Planning Commission and Budget and Personnel, but since we've been having Budget and Personnel and Planning Commission, it's kind of displaced this one because this is supposed to meet every other month.
Right.
So we've kind of moved to the third or fourth week in the month, which seems to work for everybody, so we'll continue to do that in March if no one objects.
Yeah, I think we should keep meeting while we're doing this part.
Yes.
And I think on that cleaning, really, if it's our facility, we should be cleaning it to the degree.
Yes.
It needs to be cleaned. That's something we can think about too before we meet for next time, is if we still under these cleaning restrictions, what can you all feasibly do as far as cleaning it to accommodate usage? I mean,
It might be such a thing. They did like a Tuesday and a Saturday most of
that's
the
what
time.
I mean. You could set days of the week.
So, I
what's
mean, you could
available.
even do the same thing. Well, guess what? This kind of crazy times is Saturday.
Yeah.
Or would you really have Tuesday? You know what I mean?
Even if we were able to do it once a day,
Right.
and instead of every 2 hours. I mean, every 2 hours is onerous to try to keep your facilities. I mean, especially when you got facilities all over town.
Yeah, the Coast Guard was using that rate heavily too.
Coast Guard was using it.
And then we want them to use it.
Sure,
we
absolutely.
want them to,
My understanding is they have a lot of sweat equity in that gym. So.
They do. They do. They do. And we want them to use it.
Mhm.
There's like I said, there's just times that we need each other, and if they want to have their recreation there, my gosh, go for it.
Mhm.
Absolutely. No ifs and buts, but yeah, they do have sweat equity into it. Anything you ask them, they're there. Is anything else on the gym, Donald Amron Gymnasium? The next thing on the agenda is the renovation of the tennis and basketball courts. And I know Mike has got some budget items he's going to tell us about what he has
Well, first,
quotes on the basketball and the
if you don't mind, first we'll take a look, and we took some additional pictures. These were taken today, and this is the sole crack in the basketball court, the only one. And the green stuff you see there is just the surfacing which was put down. That's receding, and it wears out after a while. But that is the sole crack, and it's kind of expanded. It's kind of blown up right now, so it's really not even as bad as it looks. By all accounts, and Harvey's met the contractor at the tennis courts. This is one of the lines at the tennis court. The courts are, for their age, are in excellent shape. Really, the only one of the three courts which has any issues is the one all the way to the west, which I understand was the last one that was built.
it was, but it's also on the lowest property.
Yeah,
Tide comes up on it.
it doesn't appear that it's had a good base under it. All these pictures are from that last court, because the first two really, other than the color needing some attention in the lines, the surface is in good shape. That crack again it's a 1/4 inch. It's flat. There's no tripping hazard or anything. You can see it's been tried to been sealed by somebody using something on it. I don't know what. Again, this is the third court all the way over, and you can see looks nasty, but really not, as far as the pavement goes, is not really much of a concern
We
about
have
the
people
pavement.
that study caulk that,
Yeah,
2 or 3
it's-
times a year. They buy caulk and they go out their little buggy and try to do the best they can do.
While the courts have the same age, we had the contractor price the basketball as well as the tennis courts. The tennis courts, and what they're going to do is power wash it. They're going to fill the cracks. They're going to put a topping on the cracks, sand them smooth, and then they're going to basically put a new surface back on all the courts. and then reline the courts. So they'll look brand new. You'll still see the crack, but it'll be sealed so that water doesn't get in it. That's basically the operation. There's nothing really structural that has to be done to them. And that, for those 3 courts, is $34,655. Now, I'll stress that this is the only price we have at this time. Mr. Taylor just handed me a second price.
That's still gonna be closed. That was
Yeah.
29?
Yep, this was, and what date was on this? This was May 13th of 2019.
Now, the
Yeah,
tennis association, if we can make this dog hunt, has $11,000, and I talked to them, and they would be more than willing to give that to the town to make it happen. And they'd be tickled to death because they don't have the 30, they had a quote to 2019 for, it might as well say 30,000, 29,000, whatever,
Yeah.
to do it. And that does, and like I said, this quote includes it too. That's new poles and net.
This includes 2 new poles for each court and a new net for each court.
And see if they do have the aluminum. No, I know aluminum and salt air don't go together either, but that where it comes up through the concrete, galvanized or metal, that's where it rots right there. Right there.
Well, that's
where it hits there.
electrolysis from differential metals. The socket's steel, and if the pole's aluminum, you're going to get a little bit of electrolysis there.
Yeah, but I know the iron poles that they have now, man, right there where it's coming up, it's definitely in.
And this, he emphasized this price list is à la carte, we pick and choose, if we want to do that, fine, if we don't, so that's.
I know they wanted poles more than they were about poles than they were netting.
So my point is, that's not a bottom line.
I don't know how much the nets were, but the poles I know they did want the poles.
Okay.
They are on state contract, so.
So like I said, the tennis association themselves were saying that they would do the 11,000 and be tickled to death to do it.
Well, while the contractor was there, we had him look at the basketball court. Again, we got 1 crack. I walked the whole thing this morning. That 1 crack it's right in the middle, and that's the only crack
that's on
in
higher land. You got that's the highest of all of them.
Right,
You know,
but
it got a better.
But they gave us a price of $5,829 to redo the basketball court as well. If we're going to do one side, we might as well do both.
Oh yeah.
I've seen them a lot higher than this, much higher. I've seen 6 figures on 2 courts, and that was to do more work than this. But still, it can get a lot worse, and we still could collect some more prices on this and try to get
But it's going to be close. I
certainly.
mean, you got 2. I mean, they go hit the 3rd one, but they get the 3rd one, but it's going to be that's kind of an area that we're going to be in. We're going to be in that.
Yeah,
35,000.
I feel
Let's
it-
also preserve our future a little better, getting these cracks sealed up. I
Yeah,
would say.
if you let them go too long, what happens is the same thing with concrete. Water gets in it, it
Right.
freezes, it expands, it pushes them apart, and the crack starts a 1/4 inch, ends up to be 1 1/4 inch.
They're crack repair, they don't just fill them, they actually use a process that's essentially the same as finishing drywall. You put a web over it and surface.
So we have to get a motion to bring this to council. Am I correct?
Well, I would,
Because it's over 10,000 now. I mean,
I would tell you that my recommendation on this, we don't have this in the budget for this year. It certainly can go into budget for the next fiscal year, which
Okay.
starts in July. Really, and Harvey and I are working on this now, it's one of those items that should appear in a capital improvement plan. And we haven't established a baseline for the capital improvement plan yet as far as a threshold project amount. But in my mind, it's around $10,000. Anything over that should be in it. Any money we spend over that for a facility should be included on the capital improvement plan. But like I said, we don't have the money in the budget this year for this. It can be included in next year's. I do feel that it needs to be done, and I do feel that and we need to do both while we're at it. There's no need of doing one and not the other.
And both get used. I mean, like I said, at a basketball court.
Yes,
I
absolutely.
would want to use them, but it's not like you're doing it for nothing.
Absolutely.
It's like I think this park here. People, why are you doing that? It's going to be used.
I'll make a motion, we forward the proposal to the, I guess you forwarded budget personnel to put it into the budget for 2022. 2022, right? Isn't that what we call
Yes,
that?
FY22.
It starts though in July of 21.
Correct.
Second.
And then we'll, that includes as well utilizing the getting authorization. to
Yeah, I'll
utilize
tell them not
the
spending money and tell them
Tennessee
that,
section.
saying in a real world like it goes in 2022, and that's, so, work on that, if it got in that budget, work on that would be,
It could be the end of this year.
end of this year, right, because it sounds like it's not, but it is.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
FY '22's budget, which, as you all know, we're working on right now, will hopefully be approved in April, at the very latest May, and it will start July 1 of 2021.
Right.
So that budget will
So
start.
probably August or September, in the real world, we'll be looking at some work could
Yeah,
start.
you wouldn't want to do this work in the middle of the season and make everybody mad because they couldn't use them, you know.
They do it all year long, so about September, you still have some heat. You know, we probably need some good weather. to
Well,
do the
you
work.
would want to do it, if you're going to do it in FY '22, you would want to do it before freezing weather next year.
Right.
And I'm sure there's some temperature limitations to the application of this product.
So I'm saying, the
And,
first thing they're gonna ask, and the first, we do first of all, I got a motion on the table and a second, all in favor, say aye.
All right.
So we'll take that to the, budget and personnel
Okay?
committee, and thank you very much for the consideration. Next on the agenda, any, committee member comments, Mr. Don?
My only one is going back to the Brianna Kindness Park. I think we do need to make sure we keep a close eye on those sidewalk areas where we've moved the playground on the corner there. You know, we want to make sure we have a clear lineage, so people aren't pulling cars right up next to the fence and that kind of stuff. I do think we need to really look at that as far as curbing and sidewalks, or however you're going to do that. Now, I'd hate to see just a fence come up and stop, and then the hard surface road
Right.
start, because people are going to be walking all along there and
Well,
stuff like that.
we, Harvey and I discussed that today, and if there's room for a sidewalk there, that would be ideal. If there's not room for a sidewalk, we feel there should be some kind of barrier. We talked about, nobody wants to put a Jersey barrier or something like that there, but certainly some attractive pipe bollards, sort of like what you see in front of Royal Farms or something like that, something like that could be done.
And there actually is sidewalk across the other side of School Street.
On the other side of School Street, yeah.
On the other side,
Yes.
on the west side.
But down Smith Street along the outside of the playground would be great for a sidewalk.
Yeah, because you don't want
Because
people.
maybe not everybody's gonna drive there, so if they,
Right.
come across School Street and then can walk right down the sidewalk.
You're gonna have people gonna have strollers and all that kind of stuff coming down there. You don't want them strolling through the middle of the road and all that jazz to get to the entrance area.
Right.
That's all I have.
And I again, I know I beat our dead horse, but I want to thank Don, Cindy, and Davey. Like you say, it's nice when you get to a point where you say, order the equipment. To me, that's a big deal. You know, what I mean, y'all work. You know, you're not getting paid, and people's donating, and all the businesses that are part of it, and the individuals that's heavily on their agenda. I won't give money, and I won't do that. You know,
It's been wonderful.
that's the word I'm looking for. So, got a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second over here, Dr. Donna?
Second.
Okay, thank you all very much.